welcome back to the channel. Today I figured I'd give you all a shop tour. I'm going to be showing you how simplistic it is and how you don't need much tools to begin woodworking. So let's get into it. So first I want to kind of go over what my shop actually is. This was already here when we first moved in. But what it seems like is a two-car garage that's, separate from your house. It's what it looks like. And then they just plywooded and hardy planked the two sides that are usually open. And put windows and stuff in it and a garage door. I actually built this ramp right here for it. It used to just be two cinder blocks that were kind of like steps. So I actually built that. But I mean, yeah, there's nothing really much to it. It's just I think it's a 20 by 14. So as you can tell, not all of this space is woodworking. This is actually used halfway for my wood shop and the other side for a family garage. So I have about half of 20 by 14, so about a 10 by 7 is as big as my shop is. So it's not that big, but like I said, you don't need a big shop to woodwork. So the first corner I'll cover is actually, this one was here when I first moved in. This workbench and this workbench was actually here when we moved in. And I obviously kept them here. I did install this right here. A little bit of talk about the electricity. The only thing that's running, and people might think this is a little shady, but the only thing that's running power to this building is an extension cord that runs out to an outlet up towards the house. But I installed this power strip here, and basically the extension cord comes through here, plugs into this extension cord, then goes over here. Then this leads to that power strip. Then another extension cord goes over to there to that power strip, and that's what's powering this whole thing. The thing about it is, a lot of people would say, well, I don't think an extension cord could run all this. I don't run everything at once, so I mean, I'm only running one big power tool at a time, and then the lights, and then sometimes a fan during the summertime because this doesn't have any air conditioning in it. But anyway, so here's all my safety equipment: earmuffs, mask, safety goggles, gloves for when I'm staining, hammer, basically all my basic stuff that I'm going to need every time, like my hammer, once again, my multi-tool pen, tape measure, glue, pencils, speed squares, my drills and impact drivers, sanders, miscellaneous tools, router, jigsaw, sandpaper, my cloth-like rags, aka shop rags, and then I don't know if you can see over here, but this is like my glue and my painter's tape and all that. And then down here I have just kind of different things, nothing super important, just kind of a storage point. I mean, I have a planer down there, but it needs a new belt, so it doesn't work at the moment. But yeah, that's it for this corner. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention, because this is metal, some of my levelers are magnetic, so that saves space. So the next space I wanted to go over is, I built this up here, it's a simple clamp rack, just a 2x2 screwed to the wall, and then these just clamp to it. You might be wondering why I have a Cotton and Carvings sign up here. That is actually my business woodworking name, I guess I should say. We used to have a brick and mortar shop inside of a store, and but we stopped doing there and are just doing it straight from home, so we still have the sign from that. But this is the other power strip I was saying. The yellow extension cord from this power strip empowers this one. And then I have another extension cord, I think is one of these, that runs to this power strip right here. And then this one also powers the big light. And obviously my miter saw. Again, these were not here when we first moved in. If you can imagine it, this window was a actual glass window. It was broken when we moved in, They had a trash bag over it. Then this paint stand over here, which I'll show in a minute, was actually here. And this thing was big and bulky. I decided I needed more room to expand, and I also wanted a miter saw table, because you've been woodworking for a while, you probably understand having a miter saw on like a table like this one right here, an 8-foot board, it just teeter-totters and it just gets dangerous and stuff like that. So I decided I wanted a miter station. That's what I did here. But anyway, again, about the window, it was a glass window, it was broken. So instead of replacing the glass, because that can be expensive, I figured I'd just buy 1/4 inch plywood, and I just installed it inside there instead of the glass. That way I can have a nice breeze coming in here, still open and close it easily, and that way I didn't have to spend a lot of money on it, and I painted it white so it matches perfect. That's pretty much it for this area, and then I'll move down further. Okay, so everything here is kind of, I have a pegboard here with various different tools on it. I like to have a tape measure in every station that I have because I end up needing it all the time. But as you can tell, it runs my power tool batteries. Just hung it up on here whenever I need to charge it. Just attached to that and it sings to me. But so that's it for that. And then my radio, I like to listen to music while I, mainly bluegrass. So I have that CD player, my drill press. I actually got this at an antique store. It's been great. So, and then I put this shelf up here to kind of hold my power tool cases. And then, my bits and stuff. And then my air circulator fan that comes so much in handy during the summertime, because again, this is all metal, so it gets hot when the sun hits it. A few drawers and stuff. Power tools underneath, shop vac. And then this was actually a project that was long overdue. I just installed these yesterday, and it's made so much space, because these were all either down here on the ground or up, and it just took up a lot of space, and it made the wood warped. And so basically I put all my common boards, all the cheap 2x4s, fence pickets, all that stuff up here. These are all my more expensive pieces of wood, like the oak, the poplar, dark walnut, all the different hardwoods, and also my select pine, because those are expensive as well. But yeah, that's all this is. This is all part of the garage part. That's nothing for woodworking. That's it for this area, but I would definitely recommend putting something like this. All this is just L brackets, and just big L brackets, or shelving brackets, or whatever you want to call it. And then just put enough so it doesn't warp in the middle. But that's it for that. And then this could go without explaining, but my table saw in the middle, this is actually not mine. It's actually my neighbor graciously allows me to borrow it. I'm planning on getting my own soon. He just said until I can get my own, I'm more than welcome to use this one. So thanks to my neighbor for that. And but yeah, that concludes it. I mean, like I said, it's a really small, but not super expensive area. I mean, a lot of this stuff I either got free or at a really cheap price. This wood here was actually repurposed. You can see the green. I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not. There's green paint left over on these 2x4s for this thing right here. I actually had an old planting stand that had 2x4s all over it, so I was like, well, I'll just use those. And so I saved a lot of money on that. So yeah, I mean, that pretty much concludes my shop tour. This video was basically to once again reiterate that woodworking doesn't have to be expensive. Obviously, the shop would probably be expensive to make, but obviously it came with the house, so I can't say that. But I'm just saying, a 10 by 7 area. I mean, you could just build a 10 by 7 shed, or you don't have to have some huge shop with tons of huge equipment. I just make do with what I have, and So that's what I try to reiterate in this channel. So, but anyway, guys, thank you guys for tuning into this channel. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I hope it kind of sparked some interest and innovation. And please hit that subscribe button and that like button, and I'll catch you in the next video.